सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् साधन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna, Suvinaya, Nityananda, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranams. Prabhuji, your video is like we are seeing you in the one side, Prabhuji, so can you make it center, if it is possible. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandat Pranams to all. Please accept my humble obeisances. We welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Suvinaya Nityananda Prabhu, and Prabhu will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 6th chapter, and texts 14 and 15. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. We'll start with Mangalacharan. Om Adhyanatirandasya Dhyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunvalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadankitam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Shankrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Shadvaitam Shavadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Ka तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी चारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskrutyam Namattaiva Narottamam Devin Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki Mukam Karoti Achalam Pangur Langayate Girim Yatpatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Manovestanam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome all devotees to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. I would like to thank all the devotees who have given opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, so it has to purify myself. Thank you. So today we will be discussing the verse from 15 and 14. We will be discussing from Shivadev's pastimes. So let me share.
Yes, Prabhu, we can see.
Okay. Text 14. Aho nu vamsho yashas avadhataha prayo vrata yatra puman puranaha vrata avatara purusha sa adya chachara dharma yad akarma hetum. Translation. Oh, what shall I say of dynasty of Priyavrata, which is pure and very much celebrated in that dynasty? The supreme person, the original personality of Godhead, descended as an incarnation and executed religious principles that could free from the results of productive activity. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. There are many dynasties in human society wherein Supreme Lord descends as an incarnation. Lord Krishna appeared in Yadu dynasty, Lord Ramachandra appeared in Ikvash dynasty or Raghu dynasty. Similarly, Lord Rishabhadeva appeared in dynasty of Priyavrata. All these dynasties are very famous, and of them the dynasty of Priyavrata is very famous, it's most famous. So here the learned scholars are glorifying Rishabhadeva. So in continuing the glorification, they are saying, Aho nu vamsha yashas avadataha. That means the yashas, the success, the fame of Rishabhadeva is widespread. Rishabhadeva is incarnation of the Godhead. Krita avataraha. That means he descended as an incarnation of Supreme Personality Godhead. Rishabhadeva is incarnation of Godhead and he descended in Priyavrata's dynasty. And that's where Priyavrata's dynasty becomes very famous, very pure, very much celebrated. So it happens, right? The lineage or the family in which great personalities take birth, that entire family automatically becomes pure and celebrated and famous. So that is what we can remember in material world also. Some of the families like Tatas, famous just because they had very good businessmen who were successful. So Tatas are very much famous. Not all Tata family members are that much celebrated or that much successful, but still the family became famous. So Tata, Birla, whatever, Ambani's, whatever it is. So, but this is spiritual families that become famous or celebrated or pure because Supreme Personality of God chooses these families to descend. So Raghu Vamsha, that is the Raghu's dynasty, in which, or Surya Vamsha, the Surya's dynasty, in which Lord Ramachandra picked to be an incarnation. So it made Raghu Vamsha or Surya Vamsha famous. Similarly, Krishna was born in Yadu Vamsha. Yadu Vamsha became famous, or Yadava Vamsha became very much famous, because Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, took birth. So it is noteworthy that whenever Lord takes birth in a respective family, that family becomes pure, celebrated, and famous. That is what here the learned scholars are describing. Aho nu vamsha yashash avadataha prayar rato yatra puman puranaha krita avatara purusha sa adyash chachara dharman yad akarma hetum. Chachara dharman yad akarma hetum means yad hetum, the original adya means the original person, chachara executed, dharman, religious principles, yet from which akarma, the cause of end of activities. Why does Lord incarnate? That is the reason what learned scholars are giving here. The reason for incarnation is to execute religious principles that could free one from the results of fruitive activities. So to execute Dharma projita kaita bodha paramu nirmat saranam satam. So it comes in the second shloka of Bhagavata. Execute the religious principles, the right religious principles, not the wrong religious principles, the right religious principles, the right understanding. Surrender to the Lord. Get away from fruitive activities. Meditate on the Lord. Perform bhakti yoga, chant and dance for Lord. So to execute these religious principles, okay, and which frees one from the existence of this material world, that is why Lord appears. So here Rishabhadev appeared in dynasty and made that dynasty pure, celebrated, and famous. And next part, the learned scholars are saying, the saints, munis are saying, Lord came to execute the principles of religion, the religious principles, so that one, he can retrieve. What's the objective of Lord coming? The Lord's coming to this material world is to recover all the pious souls. And also he performs his past that the souls in this material universe get attracted to those pastimes, get attracted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then decide to take the path what the Supreme Personality of Godhead has laid out for them. If Lord doesn't come, see, there is in Bhagavad Gita the shloka, right? Paritranam sadhunam vinashana dushrutam dharma sammudata ched. So that means paritrana sadhunam, to protect the devotees, vinashana dushrutam, to hit out the demon, dharma samstapana, to establish religious principles. I will come. Okay, while doing so, important point is he will attract the souls also. Will attract souls in this material universe. Similarly, when Krishna came, he lifted Govardhan hill at age of 7 or 8. So it attracted many people. Hey, this young kid, we are not able to lift even 2 kg of rock for several minutes, but this young kid was able to lift the Govardhan. How come is this? And he was able to lift and stay the wrath of Indra to get attracted. And Krishna, that whole assembly in Mathura, killed powerful wrestlers. Kamsa Chanura Mardana. Means Chanura, Mustika, were powerful wrestlers. Their body height, weight were so like, and they were most powerful like hundreds of elephants. And this 12 or 13-year young tender boys, Balaram, defeated them and even killed them, and killed the mighty Kamsa in that arena, which was full of prajas. And they were all looking. And they got, how come this teenage boys killed so much powerful kings, wrestlers? They get attracted. And they start following him. And they start inquiring how to go back to him. So that is the purpose of Supreme Personality of Godhead descending. And here, Rishabdeva is also Supreme Personality Godhead. He is also one of the avatars of the Supreme Personality. And learned scholars, Munis are telling, hey, he descended to execute religious principles. He's showing us how a king, how we have to live in this world, is to live, not just get attracted by the opulence of this world, opulence of the kingly opulence, but renounce. He handed over the kingdom, he instructed. See, Krishnadeva taught three things for us. One is how a king or how a man who is responsible for the family should behave. He ruled the world, and once the time came, all his sons are instructed on spirituality. That's the first thing. As a parent, as a king, as any leader who is in a responsible position should instruct his followers, in this case his sons, in case of king his prajas, in case of spiritual master his disciples, should instruct, hey, what path should be followed so that one can reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Rishabhadeva completely instructed the kings, or king's sons, or his sons. And then second, he just walked out of the kingdom. It was so much opulent. The kingdom was so much opulent. The entire world was his kingdom. It was so much opulent. And nobody threw him out. But he voluntarily walked out. And it exuberates the renunciation he had. So no attachment. So we should have no attachment. Once the time comes, right time, you should renounce and go and surrender to Supreme. Should not get attached. This material world is very dangerous. It makes us attached. That's what the Maya makes us attached to the material world. And Rishabhadeva thought, hey, no, time has come. I'll hand over the kingdom to my sons and myself go into the forest, meditating about the Lord, teaching about the Lord. And in subsequent verses, you will see how he traveled across South India or India to spread the message of the God. So three things. One is instruct your followers about the path of Supreme Personality of Godhead, renunciate, and go on preaching to the whole world. So that is what here that the learned scholars are telling about Rishabhadeva, that he executed the religious principles. What? He renounced. As a father, he instructed his sons to take up spirituality and instructed very detailedly. And then he traveled around the world preaching. Simple. It's not very complex. That is what Rishabhadeva did. And that is what almost all avatars of the Lord do. They come, protect the saints, destroy the demons. But I think more important is they perform the pastimes by which the ordinary citizens are attracted and dragged towards them, and dragging them towards the Supreme Personality. So when Ramachandra went to Lanka, all Lankans believed there is no powerful king as Ravana. Ravana could never be defeated. How can he be defeated? He has 10 heads, he has the strength of thousands of elephants, and he has a great army, and his great brothers, he has great children, everybody. But how can they be defeated? That is what they were thinking. And here Ramachandra comes with a bunch of monkey army, and they are just like defeats Kumbhakarna, kills Ravana. And thereby Lanka, they're all demonic people, got attracted to Ramachandra. And then they started to, hey, who is this personality who defeated our great king, Ravana? And God got attracted and started following and started inquiring about Rama. And they started becoming devotees of Rama. See, the purpose was to kill Ravana, and to liberate Sita from his clutches. But the greater purpose was to attract all the souls back in there in Lanka. Similarly, in the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj and Narsimhadev, Hiranyakashipu, everybody in the world thought he could not be defeated. He could not be defeated. Lord just comes as Narasimha from the pillars of his palace and kills him. And it was witnessed by all the Rakshasa demons. And they got, but how can our king be defeated? Then who is greater than our king? Oh, Narasimha, who are you? They started to inquire. And they got attracted. And they started worshipping Narasimha. So that was the purpose of that. Similarly, Rishabhadev also, after ending his duties as a king, instructed his sons, renounced the kingdom, and started preaching and attracting the pious souls towards Krishna. So that is what the Munis are glorifying here. Okay, so we'll move on to sloka number 650. Text 15. Konva asya kastam aparo anuguchena manorathena pi abhavasya yogi yo yoga maya spurati yati udas he astaya yena krita prayatnaha. So we'll see the translation. Who is that mystic yogi who can follow the examples of Lord Rishabhadeva with his mind? Lord Rishabhadeva rejected all kinds of yoga which other yogis hanker to attain. Who is that yogi who can compare to Lord Rishabhadeva? Offered by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Generally, yogis desire the yogic perfections of anima, lagima, mahima, prakamya, prapti, vishistva, vasistva, and kama vasistya. Lord Rishabhadeva, however, never aspired for all these materials. Such siddhis, perfections, are presented by illusionary energy of the Lord. The real purpose of yoga system is to achieve the favor and shelter of lotus feet of Supreme Person Godhead. But this purpose is covered by illusionary energy of Yoga Maya. So-called yogis are therefore allured by superficial material perfections, anima, lagima, prapti, and so forth. Consequently, ordinary yogis cannot compare to Rishabhadeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very important points are said in this purport and this shloka. One may mistake Rishabhadeva to be yogi. That is where the learned scholars are saying. Do not mistake Rishabhadeva for a yogi. What is a yogi? Let us understand deep. Okay. So we have this yoga ladder. So, screen, it is coming. Prabhu, you can see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
You can make it bigger because it's not.
Now it's fine.
Still loading, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So we have this yoga ladder process, which is clearly explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So, first of all, we should understand there is animalistic life. What is animalistic life? Ahara nidra bhayamaitunamcha. That means one is only worried about Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya and Maithuna. That is food, sleep, house or defense, and reproduction. Attraction to opposite sex and producing children. If one is doing only that, then one is in animal life. One is in animal life. Dvipada Pashu. That is what the Veda calls us as. The Vedas call one, if one has got a human being body, but he continues to do activities that are material, such as Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maitunamcha. Only these four things. It's not worried about anything else. Okay? Then he is leading an animal life. But, okay, I have so many desires. How to satisfy them? Then he takes to the scriptures and says, okay, I want this. What should I do? Okay, if I do this, I'll get this. If I do this, I'll get this. That means the interest still is to satisfy the material desires. But he's taken the scriptures to satisfy those material desires. The Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas. Scriptures. One has taken. That means he's at least progressed to human life. That means he's referring to scriptures and performing the activities. Thereby, the end objective is still to material desires. That is called human life or karma kanda. Then there comes, okay, I've been practicing this karma kanda life there, but I'm still bored, or is there something beyond this? Then one starts, okay, start to read scriptures, understand, meet the deities, meet the yogis, and understand, okay, hey, there is something different. Not only Sakama Karma Yoga, that means there is Nishkama Karma Yoga also. I'll do my duty as an obligation, but not get attached to the results of it. I'll be a king. Okay, I will rule the kingdom because it is my duty, but I'll not get attached to the results. Bharata Maharaj actually did this. He knew the result was not, he was not attached to this kingly pose. But he ruled because he had the duty as a king to rule. Once his son came to age where they can handle, he just handed over them the kingdom and walked away. That is Nishkama Karma Yoga. Not doing daily kartavyas, the kartavyas as a duty, not getting attached to that. Then comes Jnana Yoga. That means after Nishkama Karma Yoga, it is Jnana Yoga. That means understanding who are we. Atata Brahma Jignasa. Why we have come here. How long we are here. Who is Supreme Personality? Who is controlling this universe? How is universe manifested? All these questions. You seek answers. That is Jnana Yoga. How to reach Supreme Personal Godhead. How to breathe. Okay. So Jnana Yoga leads into Brahman realization if you are impersonal, or if you are personal, then you go up to Ashtanga Yoga. Or a scaled down version is called Hatha Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga has 8-fold paths. One is Yama, another is Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. The first 4 are known as Yoga Rurusu, and next 4 are known as Yoga Ruda. The path is perfection. In this, there are do's and don'ts. Yama and Niyama are do's and don'ts. Do this, don't do this. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. That is don'ts. What are do's? Wake up early in the morning, take bath from a pure water or a pure river, sit, sit and chant Lord Hari's name. Do decorate the deities with flowers. Do arti to the deities. So these are do's. So yama, niyama. Then asana. Asana is the postures, various postures of the body, so that body becomes flexible. And the body becomes hale and healthy. So that mind gets controlled. So you can control the mind by sitting in various positions. So you should not get by sitting in Padmasana posture. You should not get. So all that are taught by asana. Pranayama means controlling the airs. There are 5 airs in the body. Apana, apana, madana, udana, prana. So five airs controlling that airs. So you're getting ready the body to start meditating. Then comes Pratyahara. Pratyahara means starving the senses from sense objects, not allowing your senses to go towards sense objects. That is Pratyahara. Prati ahara. Ahara means food, prati means opposites. So opposite of food is starvation. Opposite of feeding is starvation. Starve your senses of sense objects so that they become purified. Then you are ready, your body can, you got ready, your body will sufficiently flexible, so you can sit for a long time. Then you can breathe well, so you can take the pranas. Then your senses are not going here and there. Then you can sit and meditate on the form of the Lord or each and every limb of the Lord. Entire form of the Lord meditating is called dharana, and each and every limb of the Lord you meditate, it is called dana. Once you are meditating on each and every limb of the Lord, then you are directly in relationship with the Lord. That is called samadhi, in the companionship. So then you realize Lord is there within my heart. Parama as Paramatma. Then Paramatma, then beyond Paramatma realization is Bhakti. Servitorship with the Lord, personal service to the Lord, Bhakti Yoga. And then you realize that. So this yoga ladder is what is explained in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna. And in this context, in Rishabhadeva's context, the learned scholars are glorifying Rishabhadeva. He don't confuse Rishabhadev to a yogi. Rishabhadev is beyond a yogi. He is Bhagavan himself. No other yogi can just imitate Rishabhadev. And here, Prabhupada gives a distinction. He tells yogis are attracted by these siddhis. And yogis almost, they sit and start meditating on the Lord, but they get these siddhis. That's a byproduct. They get these siddhis. What are these siddhis? There are 8 siddhis. Anima, Mahima, Lagima, Garima, Prapti, Prakamya, Vastvam, Ishustvam. As a knowledge, we'll see what are these siddhis. Anima means a yogi can become as minute as he wants, to become very small. So he becomes very small and he can go through the keyhole of a lock. That is called anima. Mahima means he can become as big as he wants. So Virata Swarupa, he can become as big as possible, bigger than a mountain. Okay, that is Mahima. Then Lagima. Lagima means he can fly actually in the sky. Make the body as light as a feather. And Garima. What is Garima? Yogi acquires an increase of specific gravity. The body can become as heavy as mountain. So that means he becomes heavy. So in Trinavarta's pastime, right? Krishna It's a small boy, 1 to 3-year-old boy. So he was as light, he became very light. So this Trinavarta could carry. So he became like a very light. He became Lagima. Then once Trinavarta carried him to the skies, he became very much heavy. The size is same, but he became heavy. Trinavarta could not carry and he fell down. So that is Garima. Garima means he can become as heavy as a mountain. Then there is Prapti. Prapti means wherever one wishes, he goes there for time. Okay, I'm in Bangalore now. I want to be in Delhi. I just say, hey, I'm in Delhi, I'll be in Delhi. Then I'll say, from Delhi, I'm in Delhi, I want to be in America. So that is what Prapti is. The yogi can touch highest things. He can touch the moon, sky, he can predict the future. So wherever he wants to go, within no time he can go. He can go to moon, he can go to sun, he can go to sky, everywhere. For example, Narada Muni has got his siddhi, right? He can go anywhere to any planet, anywhere, in a matter of time. Tuck. So that is Prapti. Then Prakamya. Prakamya is he can dive into water and come out when he likes. He can make himself invisible and enter another's body. It gives ever youth. He can enter another's body. You know that there's one called, I forgot that name. There's one name, I forgot when I remember I tell. So, he can dive into water and come out when he's like Duryodhana at this siddhi. He went into water, he can stay. If I and you go into water, we will all, because of breathlessness, we'll all drown. We can't stay here. But with this siddhi, you can stay under the water and come out and we can make ourselves invisible also and enter Parakaya Pravesha. We can do. Parakaya Pravesha it is called. And Mashistvam, training wild animals, power to mesmerizing. One gets the quality of attracting any body. So we'll become so beautiful. We'll have that strength to attract anybody we can attract. Then Ishistvam, it's the attainment of divine power. The yogi becomes Lord of the universe. He has the power to bring back the dead to life. And a creative power is gained. So creative, he can create, like Vishwamitra created Trishanku Swarga. Right? He created a parallel heaven. And we saw many yogis who bring back dead to life also. So that is this siddhi, Ishistvam. So these 8 siddhis will be automatically obtained by a person who is doing regular Ashtanga Yoga. Who is doing serious Ashtanga. This is what Maya throws at them. Hey, see, now you got siddhi, you've done Ashtanga Yoga, and now you got the siddhis. Take this, siddhis. But unfortunately, if a yogi, most of the yogis fall for this. Okay, I've got this siddhi, now I will go to the material world, show these siddhis to the people and get people attracted to them. And we'll see examples of some of the yogis. So Saubari Muni. Saubari Muni was a great Ashtanga yogi. And once he entered water to perform meditation. What is that water? He had got siddhi, this Prakamya siddhi. He went as a Prakamya siddhi, he went into water and started meditating. But unfortunately for him, the 2 fishes came there. One is male fish, one is female fish, and started mating each other. And even though he was a major siddhi here, Saubari Muni saw these 2 fishes. Sexual pleasure is very much great. Even I want to enjoy the sexual pleasure. And he came out of the water and he saw beautiful damsels, princesses, 40 princesses. And he went to his father and asked, I want to have sex, so I want to have daughters. Are you a yogi? How can? No, he was adamant. No, I want to marry. Obviously, kings afraid of the yogis, so king gave all 50 daughters marriage. And Saubhari married and enjoyed the married life with all these 50 daughters, princes. And they later Saubhari Muni realized, hey, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is not the purpose. Why I am so fallen down? He went back. He left all that, went back, did some severe penance and austerities, and then realized the Supreme. See what Siddhi can do to you. Then Chavanamuni, interesting story of Chavanamuni. So Chavanamuni actually started meditating. He was very old. Meditated. Anthill grew on it. And nothing but 2 eyes were visible outside the anthill. Entire his body was covered. Sarayati, a king, along with his daughter Sukanya and his army, came to that place, Chavanamuni's ashram. Okay. And the Sukanya, out of inquisitivity, saw this anthill and only 2 glowing eye-like structures. And out of curiosity, she picked that one eye, and blood started oozed out, and Chavanamuni was in great pain. And he told Sharati, hey, I will trouble you now. Oh, then Sharati anticipated trouble and gave daughter Sukanya to marriage of Chavanamuni. Then Chavanamuni got satisfied. Hare, Chavanamuni is a great yogi. How come one king offers a daughter, he became pacified? So this shows even if you have siddhis, you can fall down. Another example is Durvasa Muni. He had prapti, siddhi, right? He could go anywhere. So once Ambarish Maharaj, he insulted Ambarish Maharaj, Sudarshana Chakra came, he went to all other places. He went to Vaikuntha also, he could go to Vaikuntha and meet Supreme Personality Godhead. He went to Brahmaloka, he went to Shivaloka, he went to Indraloka, Suryaloka, Chandraloka, everywhere. But he was punished. Nevertheless, he had to ask permission or pardon from Ambarish Maharaj. In spite of having all siddhis, the ego, the enviness was there. And Vishwamitra has this siddhi, right? He could go mountains of Himalayas in the severe winter. He could sit and meditate in Himalayas for months together. But once he heard Menaka's bracelet or anklet sound, he fell for it. So do not confuse Rishabhadev. That is what learned scholars are saying. Do not confuse Rishabhadev with yogis who after get the siddhis fall down. Rishabhadev is not like that. Rishabhadev is a great yogi, the best among the yogis, who has realized the Lord, who is personality of the God himself. So do not confuse these with these yogis who obtain siddhis, fall down. But Rishabhadev is not that. He's not after any siddhis. Even though he has got all the siddhis, he has rejected them. There's as Sanatana Goswami had this touchstone, right? It could give him anything Sanatana likes, but he threw that in a dustbin and was carrying out with the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rishabhadev was an avatar of Lord, and he continued to perform the duties initially as a king, instructed his sons, renounced the kingdom, and performed and preached to the world. So he's not an ordinary yogi. He's a Supreme Personality, or he's a topmost yogi. That is what this shloka is telling. So I'll conclude my here. So when the Lord appears in a particular dynasty, that dynasty becomes pure, that dynasty becomes celebrated, and this dynasty becomes famous. As we saw, Yadava dynasty became famous when Krishna appeared. Raghukula or Surya Vamsha or Raghu dynasty became famous when Lord Ramjana appeared. Similarly, Riya's dynasty became very famous because Rishabhadev appeared in that dynasty. And learned scholars are advising us, do not confuse Rishabhadev to be a yogi. Just because he renounced and moved out to a forest and with no clothes, don't confuse him to be a mystic yogi. In spite of having all the mystic yogis, mystics or siddhis, you don't think he's an ordinary yogi, the Supreme Personality Godhead himself. No yogi can really come near to the stature of Rishabhadev. That we learned 8 siddhis. What are those 8 siddhis? And we learned some of the mystic yogis who, in spite of having these 8 siddhis, fell down and they later realized and then came up. With that, I conclude today's class. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a very wonderful detailed class, and the way you explained the yoga ladder is very nice. And at the end, like you concluded that bhakti is much superior than everything else. So even whoever has like, yoga siddhi, still like many great riches also fall down because of siddhis. So Hare Krishna, your lines are already unmuted, so you can unmute and ask any questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Brahma.
Hare
Very nicely you revised the yoga ladder for us before going for the exam. And Prabhu, Saubaramuni fell down for Prakamya one, and Durvasa Muni for Prapti. But these two people, Chavana Muni and Vishwamitra, in general, no particular this one, Prabhu.
Vishwamitra had this siddhi of Ishishtum, right? He should create the Svarga, Trishanku Svargas.
That is the divine one.
Yeah, divine power.
Mm-hmm.
And he had also Prakamya, where he could go into water, means cold, or he could stay in Himalayas for during winter, perform meditation.
Yes.
And even Chavana Muni he became as small as possible, anima, where he could enter the hole of an earthworm or anthill. So all that here. Not particular siddhis, but he had all the siddhis. That's what. How could he stay without in that anthill? Nobody, but he could stay.
Yes, Prabhu. So thank you very much for the wonderful class.
Thank you much. Yours.
Hare Krishna, any other questions? See, like Lord appeared in the dynasty because they are famous, and then Lord appeared, then it became more famous, or how to understand?
See, Lord appears in a particular dynasty because in that dynasty, people would have been, we become a very pious or devotees. Like Priyavrata was a great devotee of the Lord, and his sons also were great devotees of the Lord. So, Lord appeared in that dynasty to make more Lord. Even Yadukula, Yadu knew that Lord would, Supreme Personality Lord would come. So, he did not take up Yayati's, when Yayati came, right, and asked him to take up his curse, he did not take up. No, he wanted to accelerate Lord coming. So, Lord comes in those families who are devoted to him. Similarly, Raghuvamsha. So that is what, and he comes to purify the entire lineage and entire to satisfy the divorce there. So that is where, when he comes, the entire lineage gets purified, and lineage gets glorified also, because Lord came in that particular dynasty.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. Hare Krishna devotees. Radharamata, you wanted to say something?
No, Prabhu, I just wanted to ask Prabhu. I mean, I don't know much. I'm just in the learning phase, Prabhu. Is that like, when the Suchinam Srimatam Gehe, we say, no, Prabhu, they're born in opulent, the families and all that. Is that way the Lord selects and then she takes birth in such families?
And I don't know about that verse message. I need to connect back and I will look and connect back. I think I'm not aware of that verse. Okay. If no other questions, we can end, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, we can end with the Vaishnava Pranama. Vancha Kalpataru.
Krishna Pavare Vaishnavi Antikoti Vaishnavi Matavadasta Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, once again for the wonderful class. Thanks all devotees for your attentiveness. Again, we'll meet tomorrow at 7:15. Hare Krishna, the Lord to all.